measuring the outcome of usage reduction in itself is challenging, right? So, rate reduction savings, easy to understand what you might save with a reservation or a savings plan or a committed use discount. But when you produce a recommendation that says, hey, right size this or delete this or terminate whatever, how do you know, A, that the action is taken, B, that it's the action that you recommended, and C, actually what the material value of it was, right? So incentivization is about, I think, well, there's several aspects to it. If you're going to do it after the fact, right, and you're not going to build cost into the criteria that an engineer is considering, which one would argue is going to be the most successful way to do it, because they should be doing that at the point of design. If you're looking at it after the fact, it's about efficiency metrics, right? And let's take a simple one, which would be recommendations as a percentage of the overall spend of the application, right? A quite a blunt metric. But I think those things are extremely difficult to drive through the business. In compared to doing it first and doing it right and have an executive level kind of decision that cost is a factor of consideration, because they're up against competing priorities of the business. So anybody we're pushing into, a JIRA backlog to prioritize, is it a case of, okay, I'm incentivized to save cost on this, but actually the business needs me to build, a new feature or a new application or whatever it is. And so those things can be very hard to get relative prioritization from the business. And therefore the incentives would have to be pretty strong and maybe in opposition to other outcomes that you're looking to achieve. So I don't think I know the solution. I know that it's a complex problem and one that we spend a lot of time kind of, chewing over with customers around what KPIs are going to deliver the right outcomes. But it again goes back to the shift left, right? If we can get that baked in, it's, alongside the functional requirements, then we're more likely to be successful at the point of build and design rather than after the fact.